You know, when you actually follow the Most High, when you actually follow God, what actually comes with it is losing who you are, losing everything that you've known to grow up with, losing all the limiting beliefs that society has placed on you as a man. Understanding that to really, really, really live a life in alignment with the Most High is the hardest thing that you will ever do as a man in this life. We talk a lot about identity on this channel, right? But I don't really go into the identity of who I am as a man, who I believe myself to be. I believe myself to be a man of the Lord, right? And I say that with full certainty that I proclaim I'm an Israelite. If you guys read the scriptures, you know. But the point of today's video is, what is it actually, what does actually living like a man of the Lord look like? It's very uncomfortable because many people have this belief that faith is this thing where, oh, you pray to the Most High and He take away all your pain and all your suffering. Eventually He does. Eventually he does come through like that, and He's always come through for me. Always. There's never been a time where He hasn't. But what the scriptures give you, what the Most High really gives you, if He loves you, if you're a son of the Most High, or if you're actually looking to seek His ways, He gives you the ability as a man to respond to life rather than react to life. He gives you the ability as a man to actually handle life. He makes you into the man that you're supposed to be. That way you can actually follow the script that He set out for you, which is why we call them the scriptures, right? This is a movie, this is a script, and we're all playing a character. But it's up to you to decide whether you choose life or death, whether you'll choose to actually follow Him or not. Many men are lost today because they're disconnected from their power. They're disconnected from actually living in alignment with the Most High. Many people on YouTube, on Instagram, they like to talk about the universe. They like to talk about, well, living from your higher self. All concepts stolen from the Bible, by the way. All concepts stolen from the scriptures, by the way. All that philosophy is bullshit. And it's the same exact trap that Adam and Eve fell into, becoming your own God so you can replace the Most High and become a man worshiper, a female worshiper, an idolater, someone who only worships himself, right? Following a life that's truly aligned with the Most High, especially in this society, will get you called crazy, will make you very uncomfortable because you're going to do things that in the moment don't seem to make sense to you. You're going to do things where you're going to question and run away from, like Jonah did with the whale. If you guys know the book of Jonah, you're going to follow and you're going to find people that will bring reproach to you, bring shame, and more oftentimes than not, it's your family that tell you things that you never expect when you actually start to live in alignment with who the Most High called you to be. Envy will come out of your friends that you've never seen before. Jealousies from maybe a woman that you're dealing with or women that you're dealing with. Living a life aligned with the Most High in the beginning is very uncomfortable. But I'm glad to sit here today to talk about both sides, and my testimony, my experiences. To live a life after the Most High is to lose completely who you are so you could build a foundation based off of following God, as a wise man builds his house upon the rock rather than a fool who builds his house upon sand. The problem with New Age philosophies and self-aggrandizement and becoming an idolater is you place your identity, your spirit, into something that could be taken away. Achievement, worth, that comes from achievement, performance, things that could be taken away like that. Many men have what I call the Adam complex, where they idolize women. You know why that happens? Because you're not focused on your God. You're not focused on actually serving God. And you run away from your calling, especially if you know that you're different and that you're special. If this message doesn't apply to you, it doesn't apply to you. Sorry. Okay? Sorry. Now, if you know you're running away from your calling, you have to sit and ask yourself, why am I running away from what's required of me? If I say I want to follow the Most High, why am I running away? Am I afraid? You ask the Most High to help you in your unbelief. Am I unwilling to let go of these things that I'm attached to in this world? You may say, yes, I am, but all your actions say otherwise. Are you afraid to lose everything that you've built? I've been there, and I deal with it on a day to day. But every time I get to that point, I say to myself, the Most High. I put my confidence and trust in the Most High. Everything is for me. Everything is for us, for those that are in the election of sons of God. Romans 8, verse 28. Correct me if I'm wrong. And within this video, I wanted to go over just the ups and the downs of actually following the Most High, the uncomfortable conversations that you have to have, the the conversations that you didn't think you would have to have over certain things, the boundaries that you have to set. You know, many people think that faith is very passive. Oh, I believe in you, Father, and then you go back to being afraid and never actually moving forward in your life. Faith is very expressive. Even the devils believe in God and tremble. But I will show you my faith by my works. That's the book of James. And when you move in the spirit of the Most High, you move in faith and you express faith and you stop performing faith, especially if you're a man of God, so called, and you've been afraid all your life to actually take chances. You're afraid of women because the church tells you that you should be suppressing your sexuality as a man instead of governing your desire as a man. When you follow the power, you get power, right? What does God mean? Power. When you follow the power, you get power. But instead of governing your desire, you've allowed other men, other people to say, oh well, you're gonna fall into temptation, and you're gonna lose who you are, and you're gonna lose your connection. That's exactly how you lose. That's exactly how you fall into lust, choose lust. That's exactly how you choose temptation. That's exactly how these demons feed into you. You open you open the portals for them to jump into you with your fears, your doubts, your insecurities, the wounds that you're running away from, the healing you're not willing to do. The church has made you weak. You don't actually feel like you have power. Yet Christ, throughout the entire scriptures, walked in authority. I spoke as one with authority. Why? Because he knew he was. Following the Most High is not for the weak. It takes constant action, constant self reflection, constant examination, constantly feeling ugly, knowing that we're not perfect. But I'm not talking about condemning ourselves and saying, oh, what's the point if I can't ever be perfect? Perfection in the scriptures is about being whole and entire. It's about, accepting even those ugly parts in you and work on them and actually do your best each and every day to follow the Most High to your best of your ability. Faith is oftentimes very ugly, not because the Most High's faith is ugly, but because our own doubts oftentimes is actually what holds us back, our own unbeliefs, our own disbeliefs. A lot of us, we deal with imposter syndrome. Moses went through the same thing. Who am I to speak to the people of Israel, right? Who am I? And the Most High said, I will put the words in your mouth to be able to speak to my people. Things that, a lot of men are not willing to talk about. Because it's one thing to talk about living in alignment with your lust and your ego. Anybody could do that shit. But living a life after the Most High, it's one of the hardest things you'll ever have to do because of the way society is today. Now, granted, the Most High allowed these things to happen. So therefore, there is transcendence upon that. There is women out there that are good for you, that actually want to follow the Most High like you do. There is a business out there where you could actually cultivate the gifts the Lord has given you. There is men out there that are like-minded, that actually want to live a life in alignment with Most High like you do. There is actually, people out there that will love you and will want to congregate with you and will follow you. There is always abundance, but it's up to you to decide whether you actually want to choose to trust in the Most High to give you that, or if you want to run away from your calling, run away from your selection. The phone is ringing, but it's up to you to actually pick it up. I'm 23 years old. I've been following the scriptures, the truth, for 8 years. And it was very ugly. It was very disillusioning. If you're comfortable and you still don't understand certain, truths about scriptures, you're still lacking in faith. You're still not walking in alignment, and there's things that you're probably not keeping within the scriptures that are blocking you from receiving the blessings of discernment, wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Per Proverbs 1 and 2, as in Proverbs chapter 1 and 2. Walking in the fear of the Lord is not about performing faith, but rather expressing faith, saying, I'm a son of the Lord, and I'm gonna, not allow these fears and these doubts and these insecurities, the old man, to hijack what you're giving me, and actually accept the blessings, acceptance of blessings, accepting, receiving, inheriting inheritances that He's given you already that have your name written on it. So much harder than earning things, performing for things, because that's what this society's been built upon. It's always performing, always seducing, always getting, always running away to lust, running away from lust, not accepting who you are, putting on a mask. It's too exhausting. It's too exhausting. And then if you're a man who's actually trying to live after God, you're running with double the pressure, which is why you condemn yourself. But the scriptures itself says that the Most High is higher than the condemnation of the heart. You feel like you need to be perfect. You feel like you need to be sinless instead of doing your best, because we rehearse the righteous acts. Judges, the book of Judges, chapter 6, I think verse 2, correct me if I'm wrong. Following the Most High often, walking in true faith, not in the spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind, make you seem ignorant and arrogant. It makes you seem cocky, and it makes you seem like, who are you? Who the fuck are you? Who are you to think that you're an authority? That's exactly how they look in Christ. If you ain't getting those reactions, truth is, you're not walking as the man you're supposed to be walking as an authority, as a director. And you do yourself a disservice, and you take advantage of the gifts that the Most High has given you when you don't accept those responsibilities, when you run away from the power that He's given you, when you run away from who you're meant to be. Living a life after God is uncomfortable. It doesn't make sense until you actually walk through it. Faith is so up and down, but when you actually speak to the mountains, they get cast down. Walking a life after God is oftentimes very, humbling, because you realize you don't know shit, and then tomorrow you wake up and realize, shit, I still didn't know shit. Living a life after God really exposes how much faith you don't have, how much doubt you actually carry. Living a life after God actually exposes how well you don't handle abundance. Living a life after God actually exposes how willing you are to bet on yourself. Living a life after God shows you how to actually cultivate connections. Your connection is a reflection. Your connection with the Most High is a reflection of life. When things don't go your way, when bad things are happening to you, that's exactly the spirit that you're putting out there, the energy that you're putting out there, the frequency that you're putting out there, things that are not aligned with Him. So ask yourself, you want to be a man of God? Do you actually have what it takes to lose everything, to lose who you are, to actually change your ways and follow truth? In much wisdom is much grief.